Welcome back to another thrilling episode from CNN World, where today, we take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating pennies ever minted, the 1970 Lincoln penny. If you've clicked on this video, it's because you're curious about what makes this seemingly ordinary penny such an extraordinary find. Maybe you've heard rumors about its value or even seen it pop up on auction sites. Either way, you're in the right place, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this penny is so valuable, but you'll also know the key details to watch for in your own collection. Now, when we think of pennies, we often assume they're just everyday items, small, copper coins that don't hold much significance beyond their 1-cent value. But every once in a while, a particular coin breaks away from the rest. It rises to the ranks of coveted collector's items, worth far more than its face value. And that's exactly the case with the 1970 Lincoln penny. At first glance, you might think that there's nothing special about the 1970 penny. After all, millions of them were minted at the Denver Mint, just like countless other pennies produced that year. But as we'll soon uncover, this is not your average penny. This coin hides a story of rare minting errors, historical context, and scarcity that has collectors clamoring to add it to their collections. And by the end of this video, we'll reveal the jaw-dropping price one of these rare 1970 pennies sold for at auction, a staggering $312,000. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So let's get into it. What exactly makes the 1970 Lincoln penny so special? First, we have to understand the history behind the coin and why certain errors and variations have made it so valuable. Unlike other years, the 1970 penny was produced during a unique time in American history. It was a period of significant change in the U.S. Mint, and the variations in production during this time contributed to some truly rare coins being created. Let's take a step back and look at the broader context. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been a staple of American currency for more than a century. For most people, it's just another coin, small, copper-colored, and easy to overlook. But for collectors, certain Lincoln pennies are priceless. The Lincoln penny is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, and while many pennies have been minted over the years, not all of them are equal. As the years went by, the production of Lincoln pennies remained fairly consistent. Millions of pennies were minted every year, and for the most part, they were relatively uniform. But in 1970, something happened that changed the landscape for coin collectors. A small number of pennies minted that year were struck with errors so rare that they would eventually turn these pennies into some of the most valuable coins in existence. One of the key reasons the 1970 penny stands out is because of these minting errors. While the majority of 1970 pennies were struck perfectly, a small number of them had mistakes that went unnoticed at the time. These mistakes can take various forms: off-center strikes, double die errors, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets. What's incredible about these errors is that they were unintentional, but they've become the driving force behind the high value of the coin today. So, what kinds of errors should you look for in a 1970 Lincoln penny? The most notable is the double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice with the same design, but the second strike is slightly off-center from the first. This creates a doubled image on the coin, which can often be seen in the lettering, numbers, or even in Lincoln's profile. Collectors go wild for double die errors because they are so rare, and finding one in excellent condition is like hitting the jackpot. But the 1970 penny doesn't just have one type of error. Another thing that sets it apart is that some were struck on the wrong planchets. A planchet is the blank metal disc that is stamped to create the coin, and in rare cases, a penny may be struck on a planchet intended for another coin. This can result in a penny that is slightly smaller or larger than normal, or even a penny made of a different metal entirely. These errors are incredibly rare, and they can increase the value of the coin exponentially. Of course, condition plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin, and the 1970 penny is no exception. The highest value pennies are those that have been well preserved over the years. Coins that are in near mint or uncirculated condition are worth significantly more than those that show signs of wear and tear. That's why it's so important to keep your coins in a safe, protective environment if you think they might be valuable. Even the smallest scratch or blemish can have a big impact on the value of a coin. Let's say you've got a 1970 Lincoln penny in your collection. How can you tell if it's one of the rare, valuable ones? First, you'll want to examine the coin closely with a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling in the lettering or design. Pay close attention to the words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and 1970. If these appear to have been struck twice, you might have a double die error on your hands. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Does it look shiny and new, or has it been heavily circulated? Coins that have been kept in pristine condition are much more valuable than those that have been handled frequently. If your 1970D penny looks like it just came out of the mint, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But what if you don't see any obvious errors? Does that mean your coin isn't valuable? Not necessarily. Even a 1970D penny without any visible minting errors can still be worth more than its face value, especially if it's in excellent condition. Some pennies from this era are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, simply because of their rarity and condition. So, it's always worth having your coin evaluated by a professional if you think it might be valuable. At this point, you might be wondering, how did these coins become so valuable in the first place? After all, they're just pennies, right? Well, the value of a coin is determined by a number of factors, including its rarity, condition, and demand among collectors. And in the case of the 1970D Lincoln penny, all of these factors come together to create the perfect storm. First, let's talk about rarity. As we mentioned earlier, not all 1970D pennies were struck with errors, and those that were are extremely rare. In fact, it's estimated that only a small percentage of the pennies minted that year had minting errors. That makes them highly sought after by collectors who are always on the lookout for rare coins to add to their collections. Next, there's the condition of the coin. Pennies that have been well preserved over the years are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. Coins that look like they just came out of the mint are especially prized by collectors, and they can fetch top dollar at auction. Finally, there's the demand for the coin. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare and valuable pieces to add to their collections, and the 1970D Lincoln penny is no exception. As more and more collectors become aware of the rarity and value of these pennies, the demand for them continues to rise, and as demand goes up, so does the price. So, how much is a 1970D Lincoln penny actually worth? Well, the answer to that question depends on a number of factors, including the condition of the coin and the type of minting error it has. But in recent years, some 1970D pennies have sold for $312,000 at auction. That's right, a penny that once had a face value of just 1 cent is now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, before you go digging through your change jar, it's important to remember that not all 1970D pennies are worth this much. Only the rarest coins, with the most significant minting errors, can fetch prices in the six-figure range. But even if your penny isn't worth quite that much, it could still be worth more than its face value, especially if it's in good condition. At the end of the day, the 1970D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how even the smallest and most overlooked items can hold incredible value. It's a reminder that there's always more to something than meets the eye, and that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1970D penny? The first step is to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These services will evaluate your coin and give it a grade based on its condition and any minting errors it may have. Once your coin has been graded, you'll have a better idea of its value, and you can decide whether to sell it, hold on to it, or even pass it down as an heirloom. But remember, having your coin graded is key. Without a professional grade, you can't truly know what it's worth or how much a collector might be willing to pay for it. Now, if you decide to sell your 1970D Lincoln penny, there are a few routes you can take. One option is to sell it through an auction house. This is often the best choice for high-value coins because auction houses specialize in connecting sellers with serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. You've probably heard of major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, which are famous for handling some of the world's rarest and most valuable coins. These auction houses have a reputation for attracting deep-pocketed buyers, and they're skilled at getting the best price for rare coins. If you go this route, the auction house will take care of the entire process for you, from photographing your coin, to marketing it to their extensive network of collectors, to actually holding the auction. Of course, they'll take a percentage of the final sale price as a commission, but if your coin is truly valuable, the exposure and expertise they provide can more than make up for the commission fee. Alternatively, you could sell your penny online through a platform like eBay. This option gives you more control over the process, but it also requires more effort on your part. You'll need to create a detailed listing, take high-quality photos of your coin, and set a starting price that reflects its true value. While selling on eBay can potentially reach a wide audience, it can be more difficult to attract serious collectors compared to using an auction house. Plus, there's always the risk of dealing with non-serious buyers or scams, so you'll need to be cautious. Regardless of how you decide to sell your 1970D Lincoln penny, patience is key. Rare coins can take time to find the right buyer, and rushing the sale could mean settling for less than what your coin is truly worth. Coin collectors are a discerning bunch, and they're always on the lookout for coins that have been properly graded and authenticated. By taking the time to have your coin evaluated and choosing the right platform to sell it, you're giving yourself the best chance of maximizing its value. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a moment to consider the broader implications of rare coin collecting. The world of coin collecting is vast and full of surprises. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth more than $300,000? But that's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. The thrill of discovering a rare coin, the excitement of learning about its history, and the potential for financial gain are all part of what makes this hobby so captivating. For some, it's about the chase, the thrill of searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to find that one coin that's been overlooked by everyone else. For others, it's about preserving a piece of history, holding in their hands a coin that has witnessed decades, if not centuries, of human history. And then, of course, there's the potential for profit. While most coins may only be worth their face value, there are always a few gems hidden among the ordinary. Whether it's a rare minting error, a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or simply a coin in pristine condition, these hidden treasures can be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. So, the next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. You never know what you might find. And if you're lucky enough to have a 1970D Lincoln penny with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1970D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny can hold incredible value. Its rarity, minting errors, and historical significance have made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. And with some of these pennies selling for as much as $312,000, it's clear that this coin is more than just pocket change, it's a piece of history worth its weight in gold. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. We cover everything from rare coins and collectibles to the latest trends in the auction world, and we'd love to have you join our growing community of collectors. And if you think you might have a valuable coin in your collection, let us know in the comments. We love hearing from fellow collectors, and who knows, you might just have the next big find. Until next time, keep searching, stay curious, and happy collecting. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.